Okay, so you put the drink down and you went X amount of days, maybe a month, 2 months, maybe even a year. And because you haven't drank in so long, you're like, oh my God, I figured it out. I figured out all the problems. I fixed it, okay? I haven't had a craving, or I did, but I didn't do anything about it. And then one day, you're just kind of lofted into a situation where you're like, maybe just one. And then you wonder why it is just as bad as it was the time before. There are so many reasons why, first off, people go back to the drink. There's nothing wrong if you do that, by the way. That's just called a lapse. But there's more reasons why people don't permanently stay away from the one thing that wrecks their shit. It's so important to understand that it's what you do since your last drink that determines whether or not you're going to have another one, okay? So if you don't do anything with your life, or don't do much, or the only thing that you do is practice saying no to something that you haven't lost the desire for, then you're going to be one emotion, one trigger, one Epstein file a fucking way from needing or feeling like you need that drink, man. The interesting part about alcohol is it is a dysregulator, okay? It fucks your nervous system. If you've never experienced trauma before, now you have. Alcohol 100% wrecks your nervous system. It puts your body into flight mode, meaning you're anxious. You were anxious before your last drink. And now that you're not drinking, you're still anxious, plus the anxiety that alcohol gave you. Now you're really dysregulated. This is one of the main triggers why people started drinking and why they go back to drinking. So just know, dude, if you've ever picked the drink up again, that's not your fault. That's not something that you did. That's not a moral fucking failure. It's not because you're weak. It's because your body is telling you that something is wrong. But is there? Is there something actually wrong? Are you running away from a bull right now? Are you in the middle of a war zone? Do you actually have a fear for your life? If the answer is no, then why do you feel that way? If you felt just a little bit better, don't you think you'd drink just a little bit less? When you were feeling the best you ever have, was your next thought, I want to have more alcohol? I want to amplify this moment with a drink? It wasn't. You want to know why? Because you weren't focused on how dysregulated you were. Nervous system regulation with breathing, with walking, even with talking, not with doom scrolling, not with alcohol, not with a pill, not with food, not with bullshit. Actual physical movement, actual physiological practices. When you literally dial yourself in, you have homeostasis. All of your chemicals balance in the brain and the body. Your hormones regulate themselves, so you have less mood swings, which means less reasons to drink. You're eating more proteins, which means you've got more glycogen, more sugars for your brain to use to help you create clarity. When you're taking care of yourself, you're less likely to sip, but also slip. A lot of people tell me, they go like, hey, Kohdi, dude, I slipped. And I go, you didn't slip, you chose. You chose in that dysregulated moment when you saw your dad, when you saw that fucking file, when you read that thing, when that message popped up on your phone, when you saw that shit, guess what happened? Your heart started racing, right? And because you don't have any other practices other than taking a goddamn sip, you gravitated towards a drink. That's not your fault, man. You were never taught that. And if you were taught that and chose to do something else, the good news is we can get back to that. So my point with all of this is, you're not an alcoholic, but you are acting like one. And if you don't regulate your shit, you're always going to be one fucking nervous wreck away from lapsing.